Hey, beautiful, 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 beautiful angel. Love your imperfections, every anger. Tomorrow comes and goes before you know. So I just had to let you know the way that Gucci look on you amazing.
Hey my good people, it's your girl Liz, and yes, I am back again with another banging video. And today's video, before I even get into the topic of today, I just want to say to my returning subscribers, you are amazing. Thank you a million. I wouldn't be here without you. And to those that are passing by, please subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so that when next I do upload, you will be able to see my content. So as the title you're seeing down below, and obviously from the thumbnail, and you have decided to click on my channel, let's just dive into the tea and how I started my company at 20 years. So before that, I was leaving high school. It was the point of 2016. I was 18 or 19, somewhere there. I had just left high school and I was home. I had nothing to do. I was wondering what I should do or what direction I should go. So in that line, I just later on decided that, you know what, let me just find something to do. What am I passionate about? What am I good at? So I realized that because my mom is a good businesswoman, I realized that I also have some of her traits. I could be able to sell stuff, but because of certain issues, I never really started because I didn't know how to start, where to start, what to do, what is involved. So I started to just say, let me first find my research, let me research about it. So I found myself in a series of researching. I would watch YouTube channels, I would Google about certain things, I would be constantly acquiring information before I even wanted to start. So I realized that I wanted to open up a brand. Well, two brands specifically. And I was like, but how am I going to do this? I really don't know. So I now started to follow these two genres of brands and started to find out how certain people did it, how they've gone about it, how they've gone about it. And yeah, so then when I started to get my information and set everything in place, I then started to find out that I was really good at designing, and so I found myself constantly designing. I would be designing certain things, one or two things, stuff like that. And then the funny thing was, I was like, one day I'm going to put this in real life. I'm going to put this in real life. And it was very funny because I was just like, joking. Then the other second brand, I'm passionate about music. I know I'm not the Mariah Carey voice or the Beyonce or the touching melody, but because I can vocally be able to release something, I just said, you know what, let me just dive into these two things. So the funny thing is, I came across a quote that said, start young, fail a lot, because when you go older, you can never get a second chance to start all over again. So for me, those words meant a lot. So I meant, I'm young, and I just hit 20, and I was like, I'm young, and I have enough time to make a lot of mistakes. And at that particular time, that was when I entered into university. So I was like, I'm young, I'm going to make a lot of mistakes now. And the thing is, people always say, don't do this, don't fear to fail. I was ready to fail, and I was ready to make mistakes, which I did, and I failed. But it's brought me to a better maturity now than I was back then, because imagine me starting it now, I wouldn't have had the ability. So when people just say just do it, they don't mean that you just go around surveilling. Make a plan, make a tactic, and go for it, and just start. That is what they meant, and that is what they mean, and that is what I'm trying to tell you guys. So when I hit 20, I didn't even have like a brand name, nothing. So the first brand that I'm talking about is my personal brand, which I'm doing right now. So I started my YouTube channel like in 2018. I never took it seriously. Like, Okay, there are reasons, so I'll do another video later on why I didn't take my personal brand serious until now. But yeah, that was the personal brand that I'm doing right now, growing and trying to get myself out there, because I believe I'm a personal brand, and if I need connections, I am the person to make connections. Yeah. Then the second brand is my baby, my child, my love, which is Granddad's Enterprise. So I will do a story time on how I got about the name and etc and the details. But at the point when I started Granddad, I never even registered it. I registered it only a year later. Afterwards, if I have to find in a name and being comfortable with it, that's when I got to register it. But if you guys don't understand how I started with zero kwacha. Now people be like, oh my gosh, she's another motivational speaker, she's going to tell us I should have a business with 1 cup of rice, blah. No, I really didn't have money, because I come from a family where they don't give you money. Like, you're not handed over money, you have to work for it. So what happened was, I took advantage, and my mom is a businesswoman, as I said. So I worked for her. Now, my mom, for people who don't know her, she will make you work for it. I worked for it. I was lifting heavy objects. I was moving stuff. I was there on time. I was working for her as early as 05. I'm up and I'm there. 06, we've started. That was how she was building it, and I really appreciated that, because even already in my research I knew that that was important, and so I needed that training and transition and finding my own money. So yeah, so when I started working for it, it was really hard and it wasn't easy. Some days I wouldn't want to get out of bed. I would be like sleeping and she'd be like knocking at all and saying, "But get ready, let's go." And my mom is the type of person where she will not make it easy for you. She wants you to work for it, and I appreciate my mom for that. So after that, I found that I had enough money raised. Then I invested and it all went. Oh my god, I was devastated. I didn't know what to do. I was devastated. I had worked for my mom for like a month, and I raised money, and now I'm back again. So that's how I crawled back. And I was like, what am I going to do, because I don't have money? So what I did next was, my mom had shirts and ties, so smart shirt and ties, and I was in a low university institution. What I decided to do, for people who know me, who I made you buy, I got shirts and I made people buy. I went, spent, got shirts, ties, was selling. That was how I started to raise a bit of money. Then from there I transitioned to smart shoes, to tacky sneakers, Converse, Vans, because I noticed people started liking those things. So I moved. So my mom also transitioned to that. So when she's selling, I would sell to my friend, but I would sell at a higher price and then get my commission and give her back her money. So that's how I started to raise my money. At a point to where, when I had enough money, I bought my own shoes, and I went now to the village. It was an amazing time. I did stuff that I would never do, and it was just amazing. And when people say just do it and know that you have to do anything that comes your way. You have to hustle, you have to grind, you have to touch the date, touch the thing. Just do it. And people didn't know that. So when I finally got to a point where I turned 21, I finally said I just had to register my company. I just had to register the company. So when I finally registered the company, the story time of how I registered the company, my journey hasn't been the easy one. It hasn't been an easy journey, and it hasn't been easy. But when I say just go for it and just do it, I mean it. Like, if you don't know what to do, improvise and work and go for it. So that is how I started my business at 20. And the funny thing is, I've been able to make pants, especially in the pandemic, face masks. I was able to move through transition. I was able to make a winter collection. And now this year, I really want to do much more, and I hope I get to do a lot. So thank you for listening to my little story time of how I started my business at 20. And just for reminders and pointers, it's never an easy road. If you want it, you work for it. And a second other quote I got is, start earlier, the better the sweeter. Because from now, in my late 20s, my early 30s, I would have already established a multinational company. But if I had to start there, it would be really hard. If you don't know what you're doing, thanks. But because I'm failing, I'm learning, and I'm growing, this is how I'm mostly confident I know that I'm going somewhere. So thank you very much for having the time to listen to my little story tea time about how I started my company at 20 years. Come back for more videos, and if you like this video and would want to hear a continuation or give you pointers on how I did it, please comment down in the section below, the comment section below, and tell me what you think. It's your girlies. Thank you very much. Come back again. Subscribe to my channel. I'm out. We out.